the Drake Relays about 10 years.
The Drake Relays 3 times.
This is my first Drake Relays. This is my first Drake Relays as well.
This is my 5th Drake Relays.
This is my 22nd Drake Relays.
Dad used to come every year, and he started us out when he was younger. 20 years, maybe 30.
The thing that I can remember was in the 10,000 when a gal from Georgia lapped the entire field.
Was when Michael Johnson broke the 200-meter record.
The best runner probably was Michael Johnson.
The thing that I'm most excited to see is the 4x1, 4x4, 100, and 200.
Really excited to see the Olympians run and hopefully see the high jump as well.
And I'm excited to see the Olympians too.
There we go.
I'm really excited to watch the triple jump, even though it's kind of rainy out today. Hopefully it's better weather tomorrow.
One of my favorite things about the Drake Relays is the overall system, that it has high school events, college division, university division, and then the elite athletes. All those combined make it to be one of the most spectacular events in the United States.
What's your long jump PR?
823.
823? Dang, I didn't know it was that far.
27-0.
27 feet? Man, so what do you do to increase your top end speed?
What do I do?
Yeah.
9 other events.
9 other events?
No. I don't really know. I think there's a lot of things you can do. Weight room helps. Overspeed helps. Speed endurance. I primarily train like a 400-meter runner.
And what kind of weight training do you do? You do like power cleans and squats?
I don't do anything that's heavy. I do circuit training, and everything is just dynamic based. A lot of explosion, a lot of movement.
Okay, so when you're in the weight room, what kind of lifts do you do?
Let's just say I do alternatives of the Olympic lifts. Sometimes I'll use dumbbells, sometimes I'll use body weight or resistance, and again, a lot of explosion. So maybe going upstairs, jumping upstairs, bounding over hurdles, other things with that, use the upper body, pull-ups, things like that.
All right, one more question. How do you get so big without like squatting a bunch of weights?
I don't try to get big, and I don't think that should be a goal. The track and field, I think speed, especially for the jumping events, speed is what you want. You don't necessarily need a ton of explosion or power. It helps, but speed is the most important.
multiple athletes, you know, great athletes, jumpers, females. I think the most important thing for the triple jump is making sure that you start basic and build from there. Okay, so what that means is, you know, the triple jump, I think you have to really work on reactive strength. Okay, it's a timing thing, it's a reactive strength thing, and definitely a technical event. You know, in the long jump, you can just run and jump as far and jump as far as you can. In the triple jump, it's a technical event. I think it stops at the hop. You've got to be in position. The main things for there is run max velocity like sprint mechanics. Okay, so your chest up, good body posture. When you come off, your free legs parallel to the ground as it comes off that thigh. As you're in the air, you're rotating off that first phase, you want it low. It's like skipping a rock. I tell everybody, it's like skipping a rock. You want to maintain your speed. Coming off that, making sure you maintain postural integrity because you're running off the board. You're making sure that not only timing-wise, the foot's right back underneath you. And if you can do that and work on a lot of that, the hop becomes a little bit shorter. It elongates the step, and then you're definitely in a better position for jump. Because if you make mistakes in the hop, it's going to be exasperated in the jump. Huge. I mean, you see a lot of people, they'll two-phase really far, and they have forward rotation, they can't do anything off that last phase. So, you know, just listen to your coaches, that's the most important thing. Make sure you're doing a lot of good training as far as, you know, technically sound, technically proficient. But again, 90% of my stuff is the approach and the first phase, the hop off the ground, making sure you're in the right position. You do those and it corrects a lot of issues that you're going to have in the triple jump. And then, you know, doing reactive strength stuff, when we talk about reactive strength, that's that 90% above. That's what's got to stimulate the muscles, those, you know, fast twitch fibers. And so, you know, doing plyometric things like that. Weight room is important, but weight room's got to be able to compensate what you're doing on the track. And so you have to be a track athlete first. Be able to do plyometrics, also mix it great. I mean, you want to mix all three of those things together. So that's important.
What kind of plyometrics?
I mean, I think more general, you can be very specific. I mean, everything's got to be a progression. So when you're doing plyometrics, you know simple plyometrics, you know, box jump, hurdle hops, things like that. But you got to be able to progress them and think, okay, if triple jump is 100% of what you're trying to accomplish, what am I doing that could be, you know, at the furthest part, early part of the season, what's very general strength, and then as I get closer and closer, what's plyometric specific? So actually doing triple jumps would be, you know, a plyometric workout. And so, you know, but you still got to remember, working both eccentric, concentric, eccentric, concentric, and isometric muscle exercises.
And how many steps?
I mean, it depends. It depends where you're in the season. I never try to jump more than 12 steps in practice. You know, we have certain set limits, and that's when we're at championship part of the season. But early season, we may be doing just standing triple jumps. You know, I've got, 100 drills for the triple jump, you know, that I try to go through during the year. And, you know, it's not what the drills you do, but it's when you do them as far as your training and so forth like that. And of course, as the intensity goes closer to championships, you want to pick up the intensity of your exercises.
And one big question I have, a lot of athletes in the U.S., they seem like they can jump really far from short approach, but from far approach they can't, you know.
Well, I mean, it's body position. The problem is you can jump far from short approach, but doesn't mean you're doing technically correct. So you can jump, let's say 1550 from a 10-step approach, and then you go back to 14 and you can't finish a jump because you can't handle that speed. I think in the triple jump even more important is being able to maintain that optimal speed, that controllable speed. But what you want, I don't care how far my guys jump from short approach. If they're executing technically, that's what I want. Because as I add speed, I'll add distance. And so there becomes a place about maybe 12 to 14, maybe even 16 steps where bad form, it doesn't work anymore. So you have to have proper mechanics, and that becomes even more important. Becomes way more important. All right?
So one more question. So let's say it's like heavy days. What do you guys do on your heavy days?
I mean, it's hard to say heavy days because I always feel like you can't be, we train hard in the fall. Once we get into what I call season, we don't do a day where I don't ever want them to be super duper sore, because in the triple jump, in the high jump, in the long jump, if you're tired and fatigued and super heavy or something like that, and you don't have that reactive strength, you're not going to be able to do things technically. You're not going to be able to do things like that. So I think it's important that I understand the training. I understand conceptually how we do it, but I want to make sure that my athletes are a little fresh and they have that reactive strength, and that you guys call it explosion and stuff like that. And so I want that. That's important because I have to have that to be in the proper positions and really learn the timing off the ground. All right, no problem.